find out. To use that case as an example, it says the moral weight of the verdict was clearly the strongest weapon in the arsenal of the court and created the conditions for the enforcement of the verdict against the 30 officials of church and state named in the indictment. And it goes on. And the thing about all of this is it needs people to recognise it as a proper thing, not just a few people who are then trying to enforce what is true and right and justice, as the people who live in and on this planet want to achieve, not what the government and the tyrannical diktats want from us and want to penalise us all the way. So I just thought it would be interesting to bring this to the attention of my viewers. You may find this interesting because I genuinely think that there is a righting of the boat. We've been upside down for a long time. Things haven't been right. And for the people, I think this is what an amazing time to be alive, because I think we're going to see so many interesting things go right. And the justice system, of course, is going to be one of those in which a man or a woman and a law, an unjust law, can be tried by their peers and then the verdict brought and enforced. And I think in a new society that we seem to be heading towards, as we push back against the WEF and the WHO and tyrannical governments across the world who want to enslave us, and we decide to create our own new society, I think things like this are going to be absolutely invaluable. So I'll leave a link to it, and thank you very much for watching.
8 ways to activate the pineal gland. Breath work, vibration and toning, pressing your tongue, squeezing the perineum, spinal cord breathing, laughing, smiling and gratitude, medicinal plants, being in darkness. And if you want to read the rest of the smaller rest of the ring, just pause it and read that, because I ain't got time to go through all that at the moment. Observe the thoughts. Lower frequency thoughts consume as much energy as toxic food. Your body is a spaceship. Your pineal gland is the steering wheel. Your high frequency is the key to entering the higher dimensions. Raise your vibes and cruise. How the heck did that get there? It looks actually part of the rocks now, so it must have been there quite a while, I would guess. I suppose it could have been during the floods, if there were such things. What changed in the last 30 years? Disease or disorder increased since 1990. ADHD up 819%. Alzheimer's disease up 299%. Autism up 2094%. Bipolar disease in youth up 10,833%. Celiac disease up 1,111%. Chronic fatigue syndrome up 11,027%. Depression up 280%. Diabetes up 305%. Fibromyalgia up 7,272%. Hypothyroidism up 702%. Lupus up 787%. Osteoarthritis up 449%. Sleep apnea up 430%. They've been trying to kill us for decades. In fact, for us, however old you are, it doesn't matter. They've been trying to kill you since you were born. Did you know? Seedless fruits are high in sugar, low in mineral content. With a seedless fruit, what you have is unnaturally high sugar content and unnaturally low mineral content. Eating the genetically engineered food will cause the body to lose minerals and thus energy. If the food you eat is devitalized, then you too will be devitalized, as you are what you eat.
Around the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S. medicine. When it was discovered that drugs could be produced from petroleum, America's top oil mogul ordered his army of propagandists to invert reality accordingly. Medicines used for thousands of years were suddenly classified as alternative, while the new, petroleum-based, highly addictive, and patentable drugs were declared the gold standard. After buying a German pharmaceutical company that manufactured chemicals of war for Adolf Hitler, Rockefeller leveraged his political influence by pressing Congress to declare natural healing modalities unscientific quackery. Rockefeller then took control of the American Medical Association and began offering massive grants to top medical schools under the mandate that only his approved curriculum be taught. Any mention of the healing powers of herbs, plants, and diet was erased from most medical textbooks. Doctors and professors who objected to Rockefeller's plan were crucified by the media, removed from the AMA, and stripped of their license to teach and practice medicine. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and jailed. When evidence began to emerge that petroleum-based medicines were causing cancer, Mr. Rockefeller founded the American Cancer Society, through which he suppressed that information. John D. Rockefeller is duly credited as the founder of the pharmaceutical industry, and the reason that medical error is currently the third leading cause of death in America. This is not an indictment against doctors. More than anyone, they are under the stranglehold of the single largest lobbying power in Washington. Every year, the pharmaceutical industry spends at least twice the amount as big oil to influence laws, policies, and public perception. Thanks to Mr. Rockefeller, the architect of American monopolies, no industry has more power over our lives than Big Pharma.
Motherfucker! You come to a place, I'll bust your face! See this motherfucker? He came with a machete, tried to attack me. You don't fucking have any, cunt! Here's the machete there.
Yeah, it's there, bub, it's there. Yeah, it's there, bub.
Let me get my cousin a shot. Let me get my cousin a shot.
You get your cousin, yeah?
Someone said there's another victim somewhere over there. The gentleman said there's someone over there. Motherfucker!
You're a look at me. Show me your face, you filthy cunt. You filthy bastard. Show me your face. You filthy cunt. No, I'm showing this to the police, you filthy cunt. You. Having a wank on the bus, you fucking disgusting piece of shit. You fucking filthy bitch, you. Get off the fucking bus, you fucking cunt. You filthy piece of shit. Get off the fucking bus.
I'm putting for kidney stone.
Get off.
The video is terrifying. It was just a matter of seconds.
He was literally like 1 second from going inside.
Today, this brave woman still
MJ, come to the garage. Come to the garage. MJ, come in the house. MJ, come in the house. That's a stranger. Come in the house. Run in the house. That's a stranger. Come on, MJ. Now. MJ, come in the house. That's a stranger. Run.
Camera recording.
Come here, guys. Have a good day. Have a good day.
No.
Camera recording.
Are you aware of some of the concerns that the local people have here with what's going on?
Vaguely. I don't, like, obviously I know there's people housed here that you are a bit concerned about.
It's a small neighbourhood and there's more men going into the shed than that lives in this neighbourhood. And we have rights and we're not backing down.
We're here today because we are so concerned about Unit 29 and the effects and the downfall of what it's going to cause for our community. We're an elderly community, 50, 60, 70. At this stage of our lives, we should be able to relax and enjoy our grandchildren and not be worried for our daughters or our sons of what's going to happen in the future with this new Unit 29 going in. 303 asylum seekers.
Only for a girl was going for an interview. And somebody asked him did she get her interview and asked him what it was, and she said that she was going to be catering for these 303 men, refugees put in there. Yeah, and that's how the word got around, and that's how we knew about it. Yeah. Other than that, he would have been in, and nobody would have known anything,
This was our saving grace in COVID, because we walked every day all around it. But there's no way we'll be doing that. Definitely not. I'd be just too scared, to be honest with you.
My husband is a retired Garda detective. He has a heart condition. This is his walk since he had the heart condition 13 years ago. He comes up through the factories, down through Royal Oak and around. That's his walk every day. I have stopped him now from doing this. I won't let him through here. Because he's on a monitor. He's monitored 24 hours a day. We have a monitor beside the bed for his heart. So if anything happens, they're going to be responsible.
People are really scared. There's a lane up there. I'm getting upset. There's a lane up there, and all young children and adults and workers, they use that lane to come through to get home. Everybody scared stiff, really scared stiff.
And someone was telling me earlier that your Garda station here, it closes quite early as well.
It's one of them's closed. It's a crisis unit now.
9 p.m. a closer.
Yeah.
9 p.m.
And Ballymun then.
There's 7 guards in that station. It's a sexual assault unit. So they're relying on Ballymun to back them up. So yeah, just huge concerns for the general safety. Now, my own daughter had an experience in Santry Woods there a while back. She walking out of the shop, and in the middle of the day, there's a guy masturbating, looking at porn on the phone. And he wanted to be seen. He just laughed when she seen him. There was 2 instances in the woods where they had to evacuate the woods because it was a crime scene. Didn't get anything. The politicians deny this happens. I know it happened.
Joe O'Brien was given the invitation to come down to meet our community, and he actually didn't. He refused. He refused the offer to come meet these people, and hear their concerns, and let them express their wishes, of how they feel.
I voted for Desi Ellis, and I know he abandoned me. Now, he done work for me before, and so did Roisin. And I don't forget what Roisin done 20 years ago. She made a lot of noise when it was needed, but they've got lost somewhere. Desi, I don't know, from going from being a hardline Republican to a globalist. I just don't get it, Desi, and I'd love to sit down and have a chat with you and see how did I swing you. Why did you abandon us? You need to go back to your grassroots and Finglas, Ballymun and Santry, Desi, and redeem yourself.
If I built a shed in my garden and moved 300 men in with no windows, do you think that's okay? Will the government think that's okay? Well, it's not okay. I wouldn't be allowed, and it's inhumane to do what they're doing.
I don't think it's right. I don't think, even whether Irish, English, Pakistan or whatever they are, you can't put that many men in there together. Not all in one group. Because they are going to get frustrated and they are going to take it out on someone. If not on themselves, it'll be us.
If you want a GP today, you'll have to travel 6 miles to get a GP. Where are these guys going to get their GPs and their psychiatric help? I don't know. What's going to be the effect of them not getting it? God only knows. And I will hold the Minister personally responsible if any of these people here are attacked.
At the end of the day, you come home, you can't even go for a walk. Now, where do you go walking?
Can't walk.
It's not safe.
Dog.
Can't walk in Santry Park.
Children can't
My
walk.
daughter has already had an incident in Santry Park. It's been closed twice. The police have sectioned it off, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's just, the area is not safe. We have nowhere. And, we're tax-paying people. And this is what we get off the government. It's not good enough.
The poor get poor, the rich get richer, and we're down. And they keep us down. But they won't. We'll come back up.
Keep going.
We will keep going, no matter what. That's what we're here for.
We're not going to back down until we get what we need. We're not backing down. We're here to stay. They might think we're not important and we don't matter. Well, we do matter.
Roisin Shortall suggested to the minister that the Gardaí should be more heavily involved to stop the protesting. But actually, we won't stop protesting. This is only the beginning for us. We won't be intimidated to shut up and put up. We're going to speak out, and that is it.
If they don't talk to us, it's going to have to be... Well, we're going to have to make them talk to us. And we hope that doesn't happen. We hope they're more sensible about it this time and more diplomatic. We'll have a democratic vote. All our votes are... Any protest we had a democratic vote, and there was a hand count, and the hand count voted for the protest all the time. And I have to say, them older women, their hands are up first. I think some of them had 2 hands up, they wanted to protest that much, and that's the reality. Yeah. They're well up for it, and I would say to the politicians, pay attention.
Everyone's DNA, they use less than a third of the DNA. Did you know that there are immortal genes? Did you know that you have immortal DNAs? Did you know that you have the DNA to grow any part of your body, to change it any way you want to? Did you know you have the DNA of humanity? Did you know that you can turn a predisposition of genetics of blindness into a predisposition of sight? Did you know that you can tap your DNA to not only make you immortal, but reverse your aging? Do your genes have that? Yes, they do. It's what gene fingerprinting is all about in its infantile stages. But it's embarrassing when we really know it. Because the great question is, well, if I have an immortal gene, how come I'm not immortal? You know why? Because you focus only on your emotional means to an end. So your DNA holds what is replicant in you to an experience. You have never gone outside of yourself to create the experience of yourself.
It is with the highest amount of solemnity that I announce my intention to introduce articles of impeachment today on the head of this America at Last executive branch that has been working since January 20th, 2021 to systematically destroy this country. The President of the United States, Joseph Robinette Biden. Joe Biden has deliberately compromised our national security by refusing to enforce immigration laws and secure our border, allowed approximately 6 million illegals from over 170 countries to invade our country, deprived Border Patrol of the necessary resources and policies sufficient to protect our country. And his administration has willfully refused to maintain operational control as required by the law. He has allowed fentanyl, the #1 killer of Americans between the age of 18 and 45, to overwhelmingly flood into our country and kill around 300 Americans every single day. These aren't just Americans, these are people's family members. These are their sons, their daughters, their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, their cousins, aunts, and uncles. These are American families. His administration has lost complete contact with approximately 85,000 unaccompanied illegal alien children, and his policies have forced tens of thousands of illegal children into slave labor. Where are these kids? No one even knows. It's horrible. Joe Biden has reinstated catastrophic and disastrous catch and release policies which have allowed illegals to flood our country and our communities. He ended Remain in Mexico and reinstated catch and release. Under Biden's command, the Secretary of Homeland Security has illegally granted mass parole to aliens when U.S. federal law only permits parole to be granted on a specific case-by-case basis. He endangered the lives of Americans by allowing illegal aliens who had tested positive for COVID-19 to enter our country and infect American citizens, yet while enforcing strict COVID policies on American citizens. His policies, directives, and statements surrounding the southern border have violated our laws and destroyed our country. Biden has blatantly violated his constitutional duty, and he is a direct threat to our national security. Therefore, Joseph Robinette Biden is unfit to serve as the President of the United States and must be impeached. Out in the real world, where American taxpayers live, employees are fired when they are corrupt or aren't adequately serving their employer or purposely destroying a company. In this case, the employer is the American people because they pay the salaries. They pay the salaries of everyone in the federal government. The Constitution outlines a very simple process to fire the corrupt officials serving in the federal government: impeachment. Matthew Graves, Christopher Wray, Merrick Garland, Alejandro Mayorkas, and Joe Biden